when it was doing that. It would just go, actually, you have 20 resources. Like, no, I don't. I really don't.
I forced the cap, that's why it's not doing it anymore.
Mm.
Well, I mean, in this case, it's unless someone else is going to attempt to bail you out, it is kind of on you at the moment.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
attempt to bail him out.
Alright. I'm listening.
Mo did roll a freaking nat 20 for the stealth, so if you want to reach out and poke Oyeko, then that is a possibility.
Oyeko was the one that was spotted, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Everyone else rolled like freaking insane.
Okay, then Oyeko is getting an invisibility. I love that the icon for invisibility is incidentally.
It's so perfect. I love it.
I don't know why the heck it's done that. I should just go back to Neverwinter Nights and see if I can't grab the icon.
I love it so, Mitchell. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, it's so perfect. You really don't need to change it.
It's because it's invisibility.
Yes. Of course you can't see the invisibility icon. It's invisible.
Could not have scripted it better.
I don't even like the icon for freaking invisibility.
Yeah, if I turn invisible, I mean, I'll just try to sort of like quietly move out of where I was standing in case they try to poke it.
Flail around wondering what happened to your body.
My body's gone! No!
I can't see myself.
You definitely get the view of you staring at the goblins for an extra second before the goblins just look at you confused.
It was just the wind.
A whole person is just the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that
how it
at
works.
least partially saves you guys. What are you doing at this point, however?
Well, so do I hear any footsteps of like people approaching after they called intruder?
Yeah, it does seem like there's goblins, or at least some creatures coming up, but they don't seem all that interested. So either that or they're just trying to make their way through the something. Yeah, it seems like that might be the cause because they're taking their time.
I'm gonna back down the hallway a little bit in that case.
You do see the goblins starting to like kind of shuffle closer to the hallway, but they are kind of taking their time and seemingly arguing with each other about if they actually saw something or not. And of course, who they're going to blame it on if there doesn't actually happen to be intruders there.
Retreat.
Yeah, I mean, I am retreating.
At least temporarily.
Yeah. Sounds like a good idea.
So, you guys can back down the hallway. And with all the merrymaking going on, I'm not going to have you guys bother rolling stealth for listening because no one can hear anything in here. So, yeah, you guys are able to back out of sight at the very least. Because this hallway just kind of twist.
I'll just
Even
whisper.
if it is very tight.
Sorry. That's my bad.
No. What?
Wait for things to die down, then try again. Doesn't seem like the worst idea.
How long are you guys going to wait?
Well, can we still like hear them from where we are, or no?
I mean, you can hear the merrymaking ongoing, but
I think we want to wait until we feel like the searching. Yeah, we want to feel like the searching has died down.
Yeah. It's maybe like what? 10 minutes? 5, maybe?
Maybe.
I mean, up to you guys on that one. The only
I'm
one who
trying
has any real experience with dodging goblin patrols is Gouvet, and
Johnny.
that was
but,
on a different
no.
continent.
Johnny would not avoid the search party. He would meet
Yeah.
and help them find what they're looking for.
Honestly, I would like to help them find what they're looking for. I just have more pertinent things to do.
So, yeah, you guys know that at least, like, based on your type of goblin, because of course Old World and New World are different than Northern goblins. They generally are not particularly, like, let's go scour this place for the intruders that we might have seen. Most likely it's going to be a pretty short time, so like 5 minutes is probably safe, where those goblins are not going to be bothering to look anymore.
Honestly, a goblin's a goblin.
So why don't we wait 6.5 minutes to be extra safe?
I'm going to wait 5 minutes.
Goblin war party.
If they're still looking at that point, I will just murder them.
All right, that's a little forward, but I'm down.
We started
That's a
waiting
little
for
forward. What else is new?
Let's be honest. If the search party disappears, they won't know that until they go looking for the search party.
And that'll take a second search.
Yeah.
Oh man, we could just wait for search parties and keep killing them, and eventually we'll win because they'll run out of goblins.
Or they'll send a very scary goblin.
Nah. Well, actually, no, we'll just hide from that one, Theo.
Well, 5 or 6.5 minutes, however long you guys decide to wait, passes, and no goblins come down your very tiny tunnel.
Great. So I guess we'll push back forward, see if we can sneak by this time.
Alright. You make it back, and as you guys are waiting, you did hear the merrymaking seem to kind of dim at least a little bit. The sound is not quite as raucous. But there does seem to be at least some party still ongoing when you guys reached there. And the room kind of peeking out over the edge, either with Oyeko or a person who wants to kind of crawl up or crouch up to the edge. Sees that the hubs and the bugbears seem to have moved on to somewhere else. And it's now just 10 to 15 goblins who seem to be a little bit too inebriated to actually freaking do anything competently.
Oh.
And are kind of in a mix of dancing and drinking to the best of their unfortunate capabilities of we're barely able to stand upright. Or see, for that matter.
And make it look like they killed each other in a fit of goblin rage.
What I can say, dude, I'm in the middle of something.
His brother?
He's got an idea.
So, I guess technically there are still a couple of goblins that are still at least a little bit more competently active, that being the people playing instruments, but there's only like 2 of them, and they still seem to be pretty drunk. They haven't quite reached the point where they can't stand or do much of anything anymore, but they're getting there.
So I mean, we could feasibly sneak past, yeah?
I mean, it's very possible now. There are, by the way, 2 exits. The exit that the weird person walked out of behind where the hobgoblins were sitting, and that area is still set up, as well as another like kind of tunnel on the opposite, like kind of raised area. Because it has like the feast hall and then ramps that lead up to kind of balconies that look out over it. So, where are you guys going?
Problem is I have no fucking clue, like, where...
The balconies.
across the room to the other balcony.
Yeah, I think that's. I guess that's our best bet.
Oh.
Sure. Yeah. I think we're sort of guessing where we need to go.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was trying to think like logically, but like.
You guys have no recon of this place at all, so you're just kind of
Yeah.
wandering
This
and
is
hope you
our
run into
recon.
the place. Yep. Good old adventuring team version of recon. You go in, you try and find where you're trying to go. And not die in the process. So, Ayako, you're fine, because the invisibility is still on, unless Mo, for whatever reason, has decided to shut it off.
That would be sick. I'm in the middle of the room, it just turns off.
But the
Hey,
rest of you
fellow
are going to
boys.
need to roll. Either
Yeah,
trying
you
to
need
sneak
1
around.
second to run away from this thing.
Yeah.
That's probably far enough away. I'm pretty sure as I was tapping out, I just saw that thing heal. God damn it. Health, yeah.
Yep.
Hoggy Woggy.
What about Dutch, Mo, and of course Rawl?
I'll go across. There's no reason we need to send like Raw and Dutch over just yet, right?
That's true. We don't even know if this is like goes anywhere. But also, we don't really have a way to communicate with them if this is right.
Yeah, not really. Because Rawl has no magic, and I'm pretty sure Dutch has no message spell.
We'll just stage whisper, guys, over here.
Come on, like I could, I don't know. Come up with a sign of some sort, right?
I guess I could sneak to and fro, because, like, we don't need to worry about sound and I'm invisible.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. If we find this is the right spot, I'll go back and get them. Or if we find this is a spot that we feel good about going to.
Honestly, there's no reason, like, I don't need to go.
So Yeko and Bouvet are gonna just move over and leave you guys to wait here.
I think.
Alright.
Doesn't seem like a terrible strategy.
So you guys are going through the balcony, the basically opposite side of the room. The other balcony area. Alright. Yep. So, Oyeko, you're fine, and Gouvet is able to slip through without getting spotted, so.
Huggy Woggies.
Yep. You guys have reached the opposite balcony.
Alright, any sort of change in scenery from here, or what?
I'm back.
I mean,
back
there's a tunnel that leads off from this area, similar to the one that you just came from.
I guess I'll go peek down there a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see if I can't find anything, like, or if it seems like a promising tunnel is I guess what I'm getting at here.
I mean, it does look like it's actually been worked, so at
Okay.
least to a greater degree. It's more hobgoblin-sized rather than more goblin-sized, because the tunnel you guys have been moving through has been more goblin-sized. Even maybe a smaller bugbear can fit through there, so at least it seems a little bit less goblin-built. So maybe it's leading to a more, I guess, central part of the settlement, perhaps.
Mhm.
At least it's not hard to guess that that might be the case. I don't know how
Yeah.
much Oyeko knows about goblin engineering, but
Pretty much nothing.
yeah.
But Gouvet's next to me, so
Gouvet, you probably know, but that's generally how goblins do. They split
if that's the
split
case,
their
I mean that
settlements
seems
up a little bit.
I
pretty
mean-
promising.
Yeah, we need to get to the center.
So yeah, I'll go back and be like, hey, this seems at least a little promising. So let's do it.
Alright.
And I'll
Works
so that
for me.
That means y'all need to try to sneak on past.
Starting pudding. Yeah.
Right.
This is my pick.
Stealth from all of us?
Well, the three of you guys, anyway.
I
All's
was...
fine.
My headset was off for a bit. Am I one of those three?
Yes.
Yes.
Ayako and Gube have already crossed them. You, Raul, and
Yeah,
Mo.
because we realized that if I'm stealthed, I don't really have a failure chance.
Same.
And Gube's good at stealth.
The two wolf
I'm
men are able to move
Roll
across.
20s.
Dutch, on the other hand, is going to attempt to and get spotted by a couple of the goblins. Good heck,
I
Dutch.
think it may be time to rip and tear until it's done.
I think it just might be.
Alright, let me get somewhere where I'm not gonna get dragged into a fight. It'll take me 20 seconds. If that.
Well, what is the plan, Dutch?
Rip and tear until it's done.
'Cause I have no way to bail you out, unfortunately.
I'm gonna
Does
get
have
spotted.
your own magic.
I'm gonna look around and sigh.
Remember, you have passed that trace.
Well, I don't think that does anything for you once you're seen, yeah?
Hmm?
Well,
Cast that
I
trace
think
doesn't do anything once you're
saying
seen.
you could have cast that.
Yeah. At this
Or
point,
look,
it's not going to work.
Well, if
How
I
long
had
does that
cast it
last?
earlier, it would have brought me up
It's like
to
an
a big.
hour.
It's an hour, but it would have brought me up to.
Did you cast it
15?
before?
No.
I know I cast it at some point last session,
I
even
think
though
you still have it
initially.
Because it hasn't been an hour since you cast anything.
If that's the case, then it's a 15.
The 15 is going to be enough.
Pog. You are a kind man.
It's mostly that drunk goblins are rolling with disadvantage, and their passive is already 9.
Hmm.
So they barely spot you with that 5.
Hell
That's
yeah.
really not even.
If their passive, yeah, if their passive's 9 at a disadvantage, their passive becomes 4.
You're still walking through an entire room of goblins. Dutch makes a mistake.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
with a 5. Yeah, I'm gonna say
I'm
even
willing-
drunk goblins, especially with the 2 helpers
Mhm.
of the musicians, they're able to at least together, cooperatively gather Dutch would be there. But with a 15, you're fine.
I'm just gonna sigh, shrug, turn into a bear.
But you haven't been seen.
I thought Mitchell just said I had been seen.
No. Not if you
Oh.
had that spell still going, which I have no reason to assume you would have off.
Okay,
Yeah,
then-
so
and 15 it is.
it'd be nice if I could add effects so that I could tell. That's okay. So yeah, you guys make it across the room with other 2. Alright. Onward to the tunnel. I mean, if you guys want to rip and tear, it's not going to be much of a fight.
You know what? Yeah, I do want to rip and tear.
Well, we should save our ripping and tearing for
Why?
watchers
Why?
because it requires a little more heft to
No.
fully rip and tear. Okay.
I am saving my rip and tear.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to fight these guys if we've already successfully snuck past.
Eh.
So, yeah. You guys cross and go into the tunnel. And the tunnel does go for a short time and then opens into a smaller room. Only it seems like maybe a guard post or something like that. It has a couple of rough tables and whatnot. No one's in here right now other than a pair of unconscious goblins. that are just kind of left on near one of the walls on the floor. Like in a little pile on top of each other.
I'd like to turn the unconscious goblins into dead goblins.
You definitely can do that.
Nice.
I'll look away, but I won't make an effort to stop it.
And upon stabbing both of them, without your request or anything, Kurskine is now with you, and is little blood man.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, he's only about like the size of a pixie, so he's basically a tiny-sized creature. But
Kurskine's just piss chilling.
he just kind of hangs out on. They don't really have like a cloak or anything, but on some piece of like thin cloth-like clothing you have, as just a blood stain on a person right now.
Neat. I knew feeding him all those corpses would pay off.
What a deal!
I've got a little guy.
Small man unlocked. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick though, I'll be right back.
I guess for the rest of you, the room has some cruddy freaking weapons in it and a couple of chairs. And a couple of, at this point, what look like empty barrels.
Alright.
And of course, passage onward.
I mean, seems like the way forward's pretty obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Through the barrels we go.
You guys continue. And after about a good minute of walking, you reach a four-way. The path you're on kind of continues at the same sort of condition. It's big enough for hobgoblins to walk comfortably, etc. The path to the left grows a lot bigger all of a sudden. Like, it grows to be about 9 feet tall and is, while not, like, firmly circular, at least is more along those lines. Like someone did just kind of drill out a big area. And the path to the right is more of that.
I got slightly distracted. What? Sorry.
You know what to say. There's a big tunnel that leads off in to the left and right.
Hang right.
I mean, your path continues forward as well.
Go forward.
So, yeah. Forward. You guys come to a much larger and, more importantly for Dutch and Yeko, lit room.
Lit.
It seems like it is, like, you guys can't see the ceiling, but like even Mo and Gube. But it does seem to be a humongous cavern that you can see lots of little lights, and those lights are near or coming out of small stone structures that are carved out of the walls and floor, it seems. And, of course, piles of goblinoids.
Yeah.
Piles. Oh, I'm being called my phone.
These are living.
Yes, there's lots and lots of goblins and hobgoblins that seem to be in the midst of a celebration.
You know, it'd be nice if we could get a goblin and ask them what they're celebrating.
We can.
Yeah.
After fashion.
Yep. And crossing this room without invisibility is going to not be possible unless you stick like to the edges of the room and hope for the best.
Shall we turn around then?
Probably the smart thing to do.
Check out the other passages.
Yeah, it makes sense. Or we can just start ripping and tearing our way through.
How many hobgoblins and goblins approximately are in this room?
There are what accounts for a lot. If we were on a battle map, I'll
Above or
place 20
below
of each.
100?
More than 100.
Okay.
Yeah. If we were on a battle map, you'd face 20 of each to begin with, and then I just keep placing them until you either run away or, well, an arbitrary number gets killed.
I mean, I feel like after you kill like 50 or so, they gotta hit a point where they're like, okay, maybe this isn't working.
Like, don't get me wrong, I would be down to like fight them all if I was playing a wizard.
Just fireball.
Yeah, literally just that. But we have no AoE, so we are literally, well, we have almost no AoE that I know of. So we would literally be just one by one killing them.
Yes, you have no AoE except for anything you have, which is no AoE.
It's not really a caster party.
Yep. So you guys could kill probably 5 to 8 a turn, depending on rolls. But of course, it'd be 5 or 8 a turn while they get double to triple that many attacks back on you every turn. You guys are not the healthiest adventurers, unfortunately. So, turning back or...
Yeah, turning back.
Does suck you guys don't have Disguise Self or anything, so you could ask. But, So, yeah, you guys walk back, and there is the doorway. So, left or right, which I guess is right or left in this case.
Left.
Guess I should probably stick with the
Nah, we're right-hand
cardinal
gamers.
Right. So you guys have been traveling north currently, so it'd basically be east or west.
East.
You guys are coming back from the south, so east would be left in this case, right in since you came back from here. Or 2 here. Yay. So, yeah, you guys start walking down the big circular tunnel. It is rough, but I mean, it's fine enough that you guys with boots can walk around without issues. It's not rough terrain, just annoying to walk on because it's not really all that flat.
Imagine having rough terrain matter.
So, you guys walk for about a good 5 minutes before finding another room. This one seems to be another kind of vaguely circular room, similar to the trash heap type of room. Though this one is significantly smaller, like you guys can see across it, no problem. It's only 40 feet across, basically. And the center of the room has a big, perfectly circular pit in the middle of it.
A big, perfectly circular pit?
Yeah, a tunnel leading down. Similar to the one you guys already crossed. Which is, of course, 10 feet.
Yep.
Otherwise, in this room, there is a small amount of kind of rock debris, along with a couple of like kind of packs that have just been kind of left there. A couple of bones.
Rattling bones.
Some sort of animal bones, probably, based on just a glance, anyway. That's all that's here.
All right, let's go back the other way because we don't want to go down, because that's probably going to lead to another fuckwit who will kill us, or the same fuckwit who will kill us. Who's to say, really?
It's probably a different pit.
On the other hand, eye-based enemies do seem to be the danger.
Yeah.
Or should I say the target? I don't know.
I think both are probably applicable.
So, heading back or taking a peek down the cylinder?
I vote we... Well, I won't be the one that's taking a peek down the cylinder, so...
You know what? I'll take a peek down the cylinder. What do I have to lose? What, I die? Oh no.
I'm back. What'd I miss?
I'm taking a peek down the cylinder.
Ooh, fun.
There's also some bags as well if you want to look at those. Well, some bones and some rock stuff. Down the cylinder, at least 60 feet down, you see the upper edge of a cave, though you can't quite tell how big, like, the actual entrance is. You can only see, like, the top, like, half of it. At least at a rough guess. No ropes or anything leading down, though.
I have a climbing kit.
Oh, you've had that forever.
Yeah, I've had that since the first time we had to fucking try and escape a big pit.
Yeah. It's come in useful a couple times since then.
Yeah.
Not that much, but...
Enough time to be worth the money, I think.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Even useful at least once, which means it's a dub.
Yup.
Yeah, but I'll fucking climb down a bit, see what's going on down there.
Alright. Yep. You do see a tunnel after climbing down, just a handful of feet. Yeah, it's one of those tunnels that leads off the pit. You do see a small ledge that kind of leads out into the pit a little bit, but not very much of one. And that does have a rope leading down, hammered into the side.
Alright.
Nothing else to see, unless you want to keep going down.
I mean, not entirely sure this is... Okay, so that's good information. I'm not entirely sure there's going to be anything down here for us, I guess. At least go check out the other side first.
Roger.
Generally a good idea, I think. Checking out all the options.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they also found a big, like, settlement type of thing. Bunch of houses and lights and whatnot. With an ongoing celebration. With, like, hundreds of goblins in it. And hobs. Going the other way. You guys make it about a minute away, or a minute down it, before you start to hear a rather weird, like, I guess kind of the sound of, like, boiling water. That kind of burbling sound. Quickly followed every, like, once in a while by the sound of rock falling.
Weird. What is that meant to be? Any ideas?
Sounds like something falling.
Well, yeah, I gathered that.
Probably nothing good.
It's never anything good.
Why would it be something good? Fucking hate it here.
Sometimes rocks falling on goblins is good.
That's true, but I doubt that's what's happening. Because that would be good. And nothing good ever happens to us.
Yeah. That's pretty accurate.
I ate some nice food back in the colonies.
Ever the optimist, eh?
A very small number of good things happen to us.
Yes.
Well, I guess I
So,
can't argue with that.
our 3 paths then are fucking go down the pit, go the way of burbling and rocks falling,
There's
or go
also
through.
another path back in that
Mhm.
hall room.
I'm back.
You're right, there was.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, I'm gonna keep going down the burbling path for now. What's the worst that happens? I fucking die? Then I can play
I agree
Elden Ring.
with this, by the way. The
I'm back.
burbling path sounds pog.
And I need to say this before I forget to, so that there are witnesses.
Mhm.
Serbia, Kosovo. My brother says he should work for the CIA. All right, now I'm back.
All right, I'll join your brother. Let's go.
Write it down.
Yep.
So
That does happen.
Glad that's all recorded.
Or multiple times.
That's right.
I can picture it. This is what. And the sleeper,
Mhm.
Taiwan. That's the sleeper.
Taiwan's the sleeper, you're saying?
That's like the what's it? On deck and in the hole.
On deck. All right. Up next.
Serbia Coast was the on deck. That's the number 2 prediction.
All right.
These are things I don't want.
And then in the hole is Taiwan.
China and Taiwan. If the UN doesn't do shit about Ukraine, China's gonna be like, well, why have I been waiting all this time?
All right. Oh, I didn't mean for that. Sorry.
That's all right.
No, I'm glad you didn't.
I literally am having the same conversation in text with Legion right now. Like the only difference is like I'm getting dictionaried by Legion because I assumed that when he said Russia or China backs Russia, he meant like materially supports.
Oh, rookie mistake, Theo.
And I was like, I don't
Now
think
you've
they're
gone.
sending weapons to Ukraine. And then he was like, backs and supports are the same word according to the dictionary. And I was like, okay.
That's why it's
Anyway.
important when you have a discussion like this to establish a shared vocabulary first, and then start getting it.
So down the burbling tunnel. You guys may get another couple minutes down and then get to, well, see a small burst of light from significantly further down, which seems to be, it kind of goes flash, burble, and then crash in quick succession.
Weird.
And then about 15 seconds later, the same thing happens. And after getting about another 100 or so feet closer, you can see the cause of said thing. A pair of, well, at least they look mostly like goblins. Their heads seem to be like covered in blisters and are kind of like weird and bulbous.
Ugh.
Extra weird.
Fast and bulbous, my friend.
But it does seem like they go stare at a piece of the wall, and then the wall breaks by just kind of bubbling up and then breaking away and falling on the floor. Some of it just vanishing entirely.
Ugh.
There are a pair of them just slowly carving the stone away, one little piece at a time. There are a couple of other goblins just kind of hanging out near them, along with a hob that seems to be leading the show. Yeah, because you have the two weird bulbous goblins, the two that are kind of picking up the stone debris and like moving it aside, and then of course the taskmaster, who is just yelling at them to do things. Well, he probably would be yelling. He actually isn't currently yelling. Things seem to be going fine. But yeah, just carving it on him.
I do not know which I feel more threatened by.
Sorry if I
Please.
missed it. Was there a tunnel that led out of this room further in?
No, this tunnel seems to be in progress, so
Okay.
yeah.
Why don't we just turn around?
All right.
I feel like that's our best bet.
Sounds alright by me.
Where would we go?
Yeah, if I want to go down the pit.
Yeah, I mean, we could try it.
Right.
Head back to the pit.
Yep.
Back to the pit.
Back to the pit.
On your way back, you do hear voices up ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are
There
they
seems to
saying?
be some sort of conversation, partly in Goblin, partly in a different language that I don't believe any of you speak. Because I can take a quick peek, but I'm fairly certain on it.
I have Elvish and Kaininyon.
Yeah.
I have Common, Druidic, and Sylvan.
Oh, I got a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, no. So you hear half the conversation. The half of conversation is mostly just them talking about what slobs they are and why can't they do things better and that sort of thing. They seem to be trying to convince whatever the other language speaker is doing to move whatever they're doing. So they are being extremely not specific, unfortunately.
Mm.
Some sort of cargo, though. And after about 30 seconds of listening to this kind of slow back and forth, as the other speaker doesn't really speak all that much. It's like one line for every like 5 the goblin speaking. You hear a crash as something breaks on the floor, and then it just gets worse.
Mm.
The goblin speaker just gets more and more angry.
Fucking sneak up, try to see what exactly is going down. What's popping, so to speak.
Yep. You get closer, and conveniently, they actually have brought a light so you can see them significantly further away without requiring dark vision. And you see an ogre and a goblin standing basically amongst a bunch of broken wooden whatevers.
Mm.
With the goblin berating the ogre and the ogre seemingly running very, very short on patience. As especially you watch as the ogre eventually just gets freaking fed up with it at about, 10 seconds after you reach him. Picking the goblin up off the floor and chucking it into a wall. It doesn't get up after that.
Direct action.
Justice.
The ogre then just kind of sits in the four-way and like attempts to put together whatever the wooden thing was, one piece at a time.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's
If you
distracting.
remember the sloths in Zootopia, it makes them look fast.
That's
Ah,
good.
So he's gonna be there for a little while. Unless he gets fed up with it. Like after about 5 minutes, he kind of has one of the. It seems like it used to be a box back together.
And you said he was sitting in our path, yes?
Yeah, he's sitting literally right in the middle of the four-way.
So
And
Yakko's
there's no
still invisible?
way we can sneak around him. Yeah.
Not unless he's blind and deaf.
And he very obviously isn't. He's deaf. Could be blind.
And there is a light source in the area because he's just kind of sitting there with a looks like a crude lantern like strapped to his back. It's on like a little hook.
We could try to assassinate him.
it could.
Guve, could you roll a wisdom for me?
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
It's gonna take him at least like 20 seconds to get to me. That'll be fine. Hey, wisdom.
Your desire to assassinate is so strong you can't hold back.
All right. There's something about this ogre that like scratches your brain, but you can't quite put together whatever you're trying to think of.
Is this fucking Croaker?
You can't tell.
Okay.
It'd be weird if only you were the one able to recognize Croaker.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to tell you, Guve was the only one that wanted to sneak up. If you guys would like to sneak up and look as well, then you may do so.
That would be quite
Yeah.
the
I mean-
callback. Fucking Croaker.
I may as well. I mean, if I see Gube sneaking up at all, I would join
I mean,
in.
Guve has been like sitting there for a while, so yeah, you guys are able to catch up. And Oyeko and Mo, you guys can both roll as well. Dutch, of course, has no idea who Croaker is, so.
Who's that?
Yeah, Oyeko. You look at the ogre and realize that ogre looks very familiar.
Oh no.
Oh shit!
Gube,
How'd he get here?
Gube, I think that's Croaker.
Yeah, I had a bad feeling about that.
Well, we can probably get him to move at least.
Yeah. After about 5 or so minutes, and the box it's getting there. The goblin does actually get up and kind of shake his head and walk back over to the ogre that probably is Croaker and start screaming at him that, "Why did you toss me into a wall, you big freaking
I'm just
stupid
gonna shoot the
bastard."
goblin in the back of the fucking head with a bow and arrow. I was happy that he was dead and then he wasn't dead. Now I'm gonna be happy that he's dead again.
Go ahead.
It's gonna be really scary when that goblin gets up again.
I assume I am in fact attacking from stealth, so I get advantage. Yeah. Oh, also before I attack, I'll hit him with the funny, the extra damage thing.
Oh my. Murder time.
Go ahead and roll damage. Freaking heck, does it get hurt?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is gonna hurt. Jesus Christ.
Yep. You nail the goblin in the head, and then the head goes somewhere else down the other tunnel. And the body just
And now I'm happy again.
collapses. Kroger
And
just kind
all
of
is well
looks
with the
at the
world.
body, then just shrugs and goes back to trying to fix the box.
I think you should probably lead this one, Gube. I am invisible and I think he'll probably be confused. Either you or
Yeah.
Mo, but I don't know how much he spoke to Mo.
Howdy, Croaker. Nice to see you again.
The ogre just kind of like vaguely looks over at the tunnel and then seems to actually start to smile. You are the ones that gave me things.
Yep.
Why here?
Kill goblins.
Have you seen Grope?
Who?
Grope. Goblin. Little, yellow, angry.
Was the goblin I just killed yellow? Okay. I'm gonna go with no.
Northern Goblin. Oh. Well, I was looking. I can't find them. They told me to carry these boxes. At
Croaker,
that
what the
point, he just kind
hell?
of looks at the box and then just tosses against the wall and the thing shatters again.
Croaker, what the hell are you doing so far north?
Finding goblins. He then looks
Alright.
very confused. I don't know why.
I'm
Grope
not
wanted
sure.
to come see here. He said it was. He thinks, like, for a solid minute, his face is just, twisted in thought.
Classic Croaker.
He said, watch the moon. I don't know. It's something to do with goblins and the shadows or something.
Was a Grope moon touched by chance?
Are you asking me or are you asking Croaker?
Both?
I don't.
Either?
I don't think he was when we knew him.
I can
I
tell
don't
you that
remember
when
him
you
out
knew
of
him, he was
character.
not.
Okay.
Croaker doesn't seem to know it.
Alright.
I'll obtain exquisite trophies.
But yeah, he's just kind of sitting there on the floor, surrounded by wooden fragments. You don't actually see anything that was, like, in the boxes. Like, they just seem to have been empty boxes as far as you can tell.
How the hell are you moving empty boxes?
They weren't empty.
Frost Maiden, the ice
What was
queen
in them?
provide.
This, he just kind of, like, pushes his hand across the floor, and you can see a
Small
kind of
box.
vaguely, like, shiny red substance.
The hell is that?
It's, he just kind of looks up and points at the lantern. Is this?
With this, I guard Kislev.
Uh-huh. Well, you take care of yourself, Croaker.
Yeah, that's weird.
I do not understand. What is this?
Dutch will wave at him, kind of confused.
With this, we stand against.
This is Croaker. We met him a while ago.
He waves.
Well, hi, Croaker. I'm Dutch. Nice to meet you.
This is Dutch. We've known him for less time than we've known Croaker.
I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, that's true, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Croaker is more of a member of this party than Dutch will ever be.
It's fucked up.
But the
Even
truth.
if it's true.
Hey, Lumpy, there's a character you could play.
Croaker time?
Mistress
Croaker
of ice.
died.
Yep.
Pledge your obedience. to
So
me.
where are you guys going? Because, yeah, Croaker is not going to block your path.
We are both servants.
Uh,
You and I.
Probably onward still, yeah.
yeah.
Does this path lead anywhere? Like, is there another tunnel at the end?
I mean, this tunnel that you're currently on is either leading back toward the hall, onward to the city, along the same kind of smaller path, and then the bigger path that leads back towards the tunnel in construction, and of course the tunnel leading down. The cylinder leading down, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the two options that you guys have other than go and try and sneak through a full city is, or full neighborhood, I guess, is go down the tunnel or go back to the
pit.
area. Well, yeah, that's also an option. Just cross back through that room and go through the pit. See if there's another exit that you guys didn't spot before.
I mean, in all honesty, we should probably see what the other exit of the original room was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably.
I just think the pit's funny. Something
So
that's
we're
definitely
going
not gotten
all
into trouble before.
We just all jump.
Yeah, all right. I'll do it if you will.
You're asking Oyeko to jump off a cliff. It's like her favorite activity.
Yeah.
I question their loyalty to Kislev.
And
just hope it's not death d6.
yeah. And
Just as a reminder, there is a certain height where I just go, you don't get to survive.
What's the
I mean,
height, Mitchell?
that's how it should be.
Yeah. It's over 20d6, but there is a certain limit before you just hit the ground and don't get to roll. You die.
No, it wasn't 26, if I remember correctly.
20
I can see the
is
fort,
max
like fucking.
in 5e's basic, but there is that's not my number for the you die if you reach it.
Yeah, people can survive falling from terminal velocity.
I will brook no compromise. We are both
They can,
servants.
not in this world.
Cringe.
Where are you guys going? Back to that tunnel, or are you going to try and sneak down the other path in the hall?
I'll try and sneak down the other path, see what happens.
Yep. I mean, you guys make it back to that hall, and it seems the goblins have now kind of moved themselves to one side of the room and are in the midst of beating up the performers from the looks of things.
Hell yeah.
What the fuck?
So, no more music, but there's still plenty of loud noises going on.
Pledge your obedience to me.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah. Kneel before you.
So,
Together, we serve the motherland.
yep. So you guys can cross into the other exit from this room. Not bothering to roll. They are rather distracted.
Okay.
Dub.
So that entrance is, I mean, it's still kind of rough, but it is at least the size that you guys can walk around without any issues standing upright. It also, after just a short, kind of like the doorway, opens up to be 10 feet wide rather than just the 5 feet wide. No, 4 and change. And just kind of leads off for about 200 feet before you guys can see a couple of torch sconces on the walls that lead off further than that.
I will brook no
Kind of out of sight.
Pledge your obedience to me.
Incidentally, is what Mo has been whispering to herself this whole time.
So I'm guessing you guys are following the path?
Yeah.
All right.
No reason for us not to.
Yep. As you reach that first set of torches, you hear a dull thud
With this,
about
we
200 feet
stand
behind you.
against chaos.
That's not good.
And that little square of light coming from the hall is gone now.
I'm sure that's fine.
Huh.
I believe the terminology is sus.
Born to rule.
Hey, at least there's no rumbling and you guys will have to run away.
I said
There's no
march.
rock.
Yeah, I mean that's
We We are both servants. You and
I guess we'll be grateful for the little things.
This is a classic baked moment.
me.
What you looking for?
The pre-roll they got came in like a little like thing that you open, and there's two of them. I smoked one of them and no clue where the other one. And I did not. I was literally.
The great orthodoxy provides.
Sound just stretches out into the mountain. It does seem to kind of gradually rise.
Disrespect me, and you.
Let's.
I mean, I
keep
suppose we
going.
should probably like speed up the pace, yeah.
I mean,
Keep going.
the light behind us is what got cut off, right? Cut off.
Yeah. Yep. In front of you, the lights are still going. There's torch sconces every 20 feet, so it's all bright hallway.
Lies there.
I mean, rough-hewn hallway, but, you know,
Stamp out
bright anyway.
chaos.
And forwards, I think, for sure.
Generally speaking, if forward is an option, we take it.
Yeah.
I mean, currently, it seems to be the only path, so...
Forward, then. Makes it a simple
guys
choice.
Happen to bring any mining equipment.
Well, good news. I didn't.
Neither did I.
Unless you count a singular shovel.
Which is the most effective tool to dig through rock.
How good is psychic weaponry against a rock?
Worthless?
What if the rock has a brain?
Then it's probably a golem and you have bigger issues.
But does it?
What if it has a brain, but it doesn't know how to use it? It just owns it.
It just has a brain. That is probably some sort of elemental that just happens to own a brain from somewhere. Keeps it in a little jar.
Now you're thinking with portals.
Grace this welcome
Yeah.
call, Kislevites.
Yep. Continue up the gradual ramp,
My
and it
paws
leads
are
up
at your
for quite a while. You guys walk for like 20 minutes without the tunnel like moving up. Well, it continues to go up a little bit, but it's just kind of a gradual lift.
yours.
Take their head.
But you don't like see it turn or do anything other than just move up.
Slowest.
And those torches are just continuing to burn every 20 feet. Until after 20 minutes, you finally seem to reach a change. As up ahead, you can see it's not even really a doorway would be a correct word. It's really more of a gateway. As it is a massive, like, 20-foot... Not 20 foot. Oh, it's not that big, so... But 15-foot gateway. That seems to be currently closed.
The motherland grows.
And what's this gate made out of?
Seems to be made out of some sort
None
of
shall question
wood.
me. Mistress of ice.
And surrounding both the gateway and about, like, 30 feet away from it, back down the tunnel, seems to be all sorts of...
Chaos at bay.
Well,
They are one.
at least for those of you that can read Goblin, crazy carvings. Just kind of raving goblin. For those of you that can't, I mean, they're kind of neat looking, like Doctor Scrawl, like goblins
Chicken
being.
scratch.
It seems like the main things that's being drawn in is goblins plus the moon plus like this weird beam looking thing,
Your
or maybe
Tsarina looks
moonlight,
lovely.
something along those lines.
Laser beam.
The Tsarina.
Some kind of laser beam. It's hard to get anything really coherent out of it. With, I guess, well, I guess Goofy, you can, if you wish anyway, you can try and make something coherent out of it.
Nah,
Intelligence.
just fucking
Yeah, no.
Crazy goblin, who gives a shit. Goblin, more like gobbledygook. Am I right?
That's right.
That's a yes.
Patriarch of Kislev.
Goblin.
Born to rule.
Excellent joke, Steve. You got him.
It wastes my time.
No, I should just skip to today's session.
Replenish! Urson's disciple.
And since the gate is not really like all that well made, because of course it's a goblin made thing.
Yeah.
Well known.
Tsar marches.
It has a bunch of not holes in the gate, but certainly areas that light can slip through, as well as of course underneath it, and a steady, sickly green light seems to be leaking from those.
The motherland fights as one.
I mean, this seems promising, generally speaking. Alright, yeah, how smashable is it?
To the mines with them.
Or actually, is it unlocked?
I mean, it doesn't really have like a locking mechanism at the gate, but
Mhm.
you can see if it's open.
Yeah, that's
By
more what I
pushing on
mean,
it.
sorry.
Yeah. The gate does seem to be unbarred, so you can push the doors open.
I'll try to, I will try to do that in a way where it's not like obvious. I'm not Aragorning them,
A gift from Kislev's great
which is
gods.
disappointing, to be clear.
Pushing the gate
One
open.
of these
Like
days in
TJ.
real life, I'll get to open double doors like Aragorn does, and my life will be complete.
You are lower than
Uh.
low, sinner!
I mean, you also have that, and of course, walking into a saloon and kicking both of the swinging doors open.
One land.
Step inside.
Together, we serve the motherland.
Wait, sorry.
Inside.
I had to answer a question. What'd you ask, Limp?
Hmm?
Did you ask something? I thought I heard you ask a question before I had to mute for a sec.
No.
Okay,
don't
I'm
think so.
crazy then.
So, inside the room, you see a large, well, some sort of ritual room, but big dome-shaped room with multiple exits out. That seems to be, they all seem to have that same kind of gate design.
I go for
The floor is covered in lots more of the scroll, but the center of it, I guess the room in general, is about 100 feet across. In the middle, like 20 feet, is about 20-foot diameter circle with a 100-foot diameter room. Has the same glowing sickly green light of course, the cursed moon. It seems to have a handful of goblins that have been, well, celebrating. It's kind of hard to tell if they're just drunk or are suffering some sort of like
Pledge
effect,
obedience to me.
as they just kind of are lolling around in the circle. There's about 10 of them. There's a couple of those weird, or couple more than that. There's about 10 of those weird bulbous-headed goblins
Unleash Kislev's wrath.
kind of surrounding the circle at around 10 feet out,
Hmm.
along with a handful of hobs, including one that seems to be similarly bulbous-headed, along with a handful of bugbears that don't, like, they don't seem to be holding any weapons, and they are not armored or anything, but they do seem to be like bodyguards of some form. At least that's kind of where they're standing,
Never falters.
and kind of, watching around the room and everything else. And as you are watching, the hobgoblin starts to speak in not goblin, but something else.
Hear me roar.
And actually, I want to check what language that is.
Kai
off the top
Ninju
of
on?
my head.
Pog.
No.
This language will be useful one day.
Unleash Kislev.
Fortunately, you guys did not go far enough for that to be useful.
Yeah.
They invite.
I don't regret taking it, though.
I mean, you had some use out of it. I need to remind myself, what the hell do these things speak normally?
it just made too much sense as a character to take it.
Demon Slayer.
I need to look it up. I don't remember. Brain. Almost certainly know something. That would make sense. Here. Okay, yeah. I'm pretty sure that they speak that. Basically intones some sort of ritual.
Hoya.
You can't understand any of it, but you can recognize at least it's probably doing something magic related. As not only the circle light begins to intensify, but the whole dome seems to kind of grow that kind of light green rather than, well, nothing before. Before moving kind of slowly from the edges of the room to the center of the kind of top of the dome, and then washing that light down over the goblins in the circle, who all seem to scream for a little while before just cackling madly, and then standing up as if they were perfectly happy and sober, and singing some inane song about awakening and, well, something along those lines.
Classic.
I mean, the only one who can speak it is Gouvet, so unless Gouvet is translating.
Goblins love to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess technically Raw speaks Goblins, so at least Mo is. Yeah, Mo is also helping, but yeah, they seem to be singing something about the coming ascension and glorious evolution of the goblins.
Okay, I'll just fucking kill you though, forehead.
But after the light seems to start fading, and they seem to like calm down a little bit, they are collected by those weird bulbous-headed goblins and pushed through one of the other doors, still cackling away, like half singing, half laughing.
This is fucking weird.
Strike them down.
And then the Hobbs kind of head off through another doorway,
Find a fight.
leaving the room mostly empty, with the exception of a couple of the bugbears. We're just kind of standing around, seemingly waiting for something anyway.
They're waiting for us to kill them. We wouldn't want to keep them.
Yeah, we can sneak past, yeah.
Yeah, the room is not particularly bright.
Yeah, it didn't sound like it was.
At least now that the ritual has kind of ended.
Yeah, that's what I
The
mean.
glow is faded. So, yeah.
I mean, by the way, did the glow fully fade, or is it just like this is still like a little bit left, like where it was originating from?
The glow from the dome has entirely faded back to the standard kind of gray rock, but the glow from the like middle circle is still there, but it's just kind of it's enough to tell that it's there, but it's just kind of like, I guess not even the neon glow.
Like faded?
Yeah. Like you can tell it glows, but it's not giving off much more.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Mm-hmm. It's dying, dying glow stick glow.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess I'll try to. I mean, how many exits to this room were there aside from the one we came in from?
2 others. They seem to be kind of equally, like if you drew a oh goodness, a triangle through the room, you'd be able to connect all 3 doors.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what the heck that triangle is called. Freaking heck brain. My brain is yelling perfect, and I know that's wrong.
Isosceles?
Or what?
I think an equal triangle.
Equilateral?
Yeah, the one with the same at all 3 corners.
At all 4 corners. Holy shit! This is an advanced
all 4
triangle.
corners.
Yeah, that's an equilateral triangle.
Thank you. Yeah, that.
And you said the goblins left the room, right?
Yeah, the only 2 people that are still in this room are the pair of bugbears.
Which did they go down both hallways or just one?
The goblins all went down the left. I guess left for you guys.
Yeah.
And the hobs all went down the right, along with most of the bugbears. There's only these two.
Our common
Okay,
cause
They just seem to
so
be
that
waiting
begs
for
the question:
something.
where the hell do we want to go?
The bugbears are, by the way, they're not just like looking around the room. They are just kind of standing, like, not in the ritual circle, but kind of at the edge, just kind of staring into the middle of it.
They are
They're not
one
facing you
team.
guys, so facing
Defy
like the opposite
chaos.
wall.
Okay. So what do we think is more likely to lead? I mean, I feel like we should go down the hallway that had more traffic. The goblin or hobgoblin, bugbear one.
Are other
It's low.
people peeking into the room, or is it only? Are you guys just allowing Oyaka to fill you in on what this looks like?
Spread
Because
our
Oyaka's
order.
peeking through the gate.
I'm
So,
allowing
and
Oyaka
Oyako
to fill
unfortunately
me in.
can't. Yeah, Oyako can't see the room very well now that it's kind of the glow's faded.
hmm
We are in our element.
If no one seems to be paying attention, I'll try to wave like Mo and or Guve forward
Mhm.
because I mean Dutch is about as useless as me in this cave.
Yeah,
That's just suffering from human blindness.
Yup.
just doing things. Yeah.
Yeah, we love dark vision goggles because they're so useful.
I will. I guess I will go walk up.
Yep. So Mo peeking into the room as well. Now that the light's kind of, tamped down again, you see the same things Oyeko does. In addition, there does seem to be a couple of very small tunnels, like those goblin tunnels that lead off from either side of your side of the circle or the circle. Yeah.
Do that again?
There's 2 extra entrances on your side of the circle.
All right, sorry, I was helping someone with a boss. What's going on?
I will relay that to everyone. Namely, that there are 2.
My rule, my decision.
There's 2 passageways that the rest of you are going to have to crawl through.
Great, love it.
Well, so there's 2 passageways we'd have to crawl through, and then there's 2 passageways that would be able to fit us somewhat
Yeah.
comfortably. Yes.
Yeah, those are big gates, so most likely the passageways beyond are also similarly large.
Okay. So those are the options.
They
Mhm.
invite
One of them
death.
we saw some goblins leave through. One of them we saw some hobgoblins and bugbears leave through.
Strike them
And then the
down.
2 small ones we saw no one leave through.
Yeah, no, they're there, but
Okay.
they were not used.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Oyeko really does
Guve can
know.
tell you that goblin encampments, especially in caves, tend to have goblin-sized caves or tunnels to lead through. I mean, kobolds do the same sort of thing. So you build tunnels for you, and then you build tunnels for the hobs.
Yeah.
So those are just the goblin quote-unquote maintenance tunnels, or the let me stab you in the back tunnels.
I really need to
Yeah.
pee, but Oyeko is team go to the hobgoblin bugbear tunnel. But if everyone else disagrees, she'll go along with what they think. So let me go to the bathroom real quick while you guys try to sort of
I
thing.
don't give a fuck.
Frostfang's bite.
Oh, good.
Grizzly
We have
never
Theo and
falters.
Lumpy to make a choice.
Hobgoblins.
Yeah. Well,
Keep
yeah,
it
because
simple.
Dutch can't fit down the little one, so big one. We go.
I mean, you just have to crawl, but
Gross.
Ice Queen.
so when Jace gets back, we will have you try and cross the room to that.
With this, I
Is
guard
a
Kislev.
stealth check gonna be involved?
I'm gonna cast Pass Without Trace.
Your pass without trace is still online, so it hasn't been.
Hog.
We're getting there, but not quite. Yeah, probably like another 10 minutes or so.
Born to rule.
Hell yeah.
Use this wisely, my people.
this the stealth check where I ruin everything? No, it's not.
I follow the bear.
Is this the stealth check where I ruin everything? It probably is.
It might be.
That's
None
11.
shall question me.
Yeah. And I can tell you these bugbears are a little more freaking attentive than their goblin counterparts.
Kislev's chosen.
Maybe.
Only the most skilled may serve.
It is our responsibility to vanquish.
Alright, why are we rolling stealth checks?
We're sneaking
'Cause we're-
across the room.
Okay, I
Yeah.
need to either die in this fight or win this fight, so give me a minute.
That's right.
You have a minute. I'm waiting for
until
Jake to come
Jake
back.
gets
This,
back.
we stand against chaos.
Taste my spear.
Luckily, we're getting sauced on in this fight again.
Ugh.
We keep getting shoulder checked by a man on a horse. You might be wondering, how the fuck does that happen? Good question.
Go with
I mean,
pride.
I've played Sekiro. I can see it.
I will impale them.
Snow is Kislev's ally.
Boris Orsos.
March with pride and verve.
Governor of Kislev's lands. Lord of the provinces. Bow before me. I stand for Kislev.
So, how many, it was bugbears, right?
Yeah,
What was
pair
that?
of bugbears.
A pair of
Yeah.
bugbears. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. And as a note, they do not have they don't have weapons. They do have armor, but they don't have weapons. Or sorry, no, they don't have armor, these two.
But they do have voices.
Yes. They do.
And I have a limited number of invisibilities that I can cast.
Destroy these fools.
I'm back.
Mhm.
Welcome back.
Lumpy got spotted.
Ah, I see. Do I need to roll stealth or no? Because I'm invisible.
You are still invisible, so you're good.
Okay.
I need
Sounds
to
good.
check that. We still need Gouvet and
Our
Raw.
common cause shall benefit the world.
Fight's almost over.
Wait, Wait, I've got access to Payne's character sheet. Should I roll? You want me to roll for you, Payne?
Yeah.
Alright. I got you, homie. Actually, won't let me roll. Fuck. I can just see it. I can't roll.
It suits my
I'll hit the button.
I
He's got
take
a plus
10.
7.
Fight to death.
He's got a 15 total. Good job, Groove. Let's go.
So, yeah, no. They're just using their passive, but they definitely hear Dutch. So, yeah. As they're walking through the room, and then Dutch trips. Makes whatever Dutch noise Dutch wants to make, but definitely is not quiet.
Oh, jeez. I need a scar.
They will
And both
We fucking
of
lost. God damn it, man.
Aw.
He was at like 1/8 health, and fucking the host just got clipped and died instantly.
Hell.
Fuck. Alright, now to roll my check for real.
unleash kisses.
Watch you not want it now that you're rolling your check for real.
Victory by blade and frost.
Oh my god, he actually did take a 10.
What can I say? I'm too good. What can I say? I'm built different.
That's great.
Fucking iconic, actually.
Sons of Kislev.
So yeah, they hear Dutch and spin around. And both of them are going to glow. Well, start to glow green and attack you.
Shoot her. Shoot that bitch.
Initiative.
Should we roll initiative, Mitchell?
Yes.
Okay.
There's no active combat encounter in your currently viewed scene.
Oh my god, Mitchell lied to us.
Weird. There you go. You should be able to roll now.
17.14.
Mm-hmm.
18.
0.18.
My rule.
Well, one of them's not on the ball at all.
Well, a fight's gonna happen. I didn't see this coming. Quote Mo.
Mo's like, wait, there's bad guys in this room?
Mo was
Yeah,
even
crawl yet
just
again.
walking up to one of them.
Let's be friends. All right. So, well, Rawl starts. Rawl is going to go ahead and charge. Attack one of them with her sword. And has, okay, he's one hit, one miss because these guys don't have their armor on right now.
Yo, fellow no armor gamers.
Yeah, so they're just relying on their decks. And that is indeed one hit, one miss. She wallops into one of them. But that is all from her, because she does not want to action surge. That's all she gets is 2 attacks. I guess you can throw a bite in there too, but it's okay. Hold off for that right now. Oh, right. Guve.
Your Tsarina looks after you. The Tsarina.
Payton needs to shoot some bad guys, but
Yeah.
he's getting murdered in Elden Ring.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm winning.
No!
Alright, I do the extra damage thing on one of them. I'm attacking him twice.
Probably the hurt one, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
2
2
hits.
hits.
Do I get my anti-goblin bonus against these guys?
They're bugbears.
No.
Okay.
If you did, you would have been able to sense that there are also bugbears and
They're
hobs.
good rolls.
Alright. I'm going back to the fight.
Yep.
Do not tarry.
23. He's very injured, but not dead.
Really?
Yeah, he's dead tough.
How very injured is this?
Injured, but he still seems to be wanting to
Like,
murder.
does he look like he's got like one hit left in him, or is he like he could take a couple?
I mean, it's a little hard to tell because these guys are like kind of raging right now, so they don't really
Okay.
seem to be taking like hits in
Yep.
the same way. But
Sounds good.
yeah,
I'll try to use the big boy hit on him then with like the +5 or +10 damage.
Yep.
I'm assuming I have advantage because I'm attacking from invisibility.
yes,
Okay.
and that's a hit. I
Clonk.
think even your like lowest damage. Yeah, no, lowest damage kills this guy anyway.
A
Great.
gift
So
from
that guy
Kislev
gets
great
freaking hit.
gods.
Into
I'll go to
the
the
other
other
one
one.
is close enough that you can move to or
Great.
reach,
And
etc.
I don't have advantage anymore because I'm visible now.
Yes,
But that's
still
still
a
a
hit,
hit. Pog. And watch me max roll damage and one shot him right game. I'm gonna reroll that damage die with my fighting style.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there we
That's
go.
a lot
4 more
better.
damage.
So
So
it's
21 total.
Hawks are
He
at
is
your
still up.
service.
It's alright.
I did. All right, Dutch.
Hmm.
God.
I'm going to turn into a bear.
All right,
Around
that is your
and
passive. Your
my
passive,
passive.
freaking hell.
Yeah, so I was
My brain, my brain is on the wrong thing.
Bonus action.
Yeah,
Is that how you
bonus
meant?
action.
I was really confused for a second there.
Yeah. I think my brain went, yeah, right. This is the correct term.
Mm-hmm.
Dutch procs his passive and then goes in for the.
How far are these guys from me?
Too reckless.
Is this other wild shape for the day? Or for the rest? They're close enough that you can run up to them as they bear and go stabby.
Yeah, I'm gonna move up and I'm gonna multi-attack with bite.
Mm-hmm. Well, one bite, one claw.
Yeah, that's my bite attack.
Right, that's a miss.
Ooh,
That's a crit. And that is enough to bring him down.
goodness. I was saving up all day for that roll, apparently.
Well, now he's gonna be useless for the rest of the dungeon. He used it all there.
Yep.
I mean, he's also on
Sorry,
wild shape,
guys.
so unless you guys rest. All right.
Yeah, I will need
Your turn ends the combat.
Snow is Kislav's ally.
It was just those two.
I'm gonna stay in bear for the next hour. BT dubs.
Governor
Fair enough.
Kislev's land.
Or, sorry, fair enough.
Fair enough. Yep.
We all knew it was coming.
I demand absolute
See?
loyalty. I deserve a larger retinue.
That is both of the weird bugbears.
Pog. So now we can just keep going to where we were heading.
Mm-hmm.
Lord of all.
Open tear till it's done.
Going straight to hell. Sorry. Thinking of Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yep.
Stop thinking about Shadow the Hedgehog.
Sorry. I'm
This
just really
door
horny.
does
I
not
don't.
seem to be open. It seems to be barred.
What's it made out of?
Same thing. It's just wood.
How sturdy does the wood look?
This is at least a little better made. But it is just a wooden door. Or a wooden gate, I suppose. It's not goblin made.
hmm
We actually assigned someone that might know what they're doing to make this gate.
I see. I mean, I guess I'll try to. I don't know. Kicking it open's gonna be so loud. Does anyone know any way to make this quieter? Or. Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry, you do not.
I mean, because I can probably smash it down. Something to be set for brute strength, I guess. But it's gonna be really loud and we'll probably get noticed by everything.
Yep. as you guys are talking, you do hear, and in the case of Oyeko and Dutch, mostly just because it lights the room up, the green light seems to start coalescing again. And that kind
Okay,
of
I'm gonna try to
magical
smash the
sound.
door down.
Okay. Basically, the ritual does seem to be kicking on of its own accord.
I'd like to give the help action.
Yeah, as soon as I see that happening, I'm just gonna fuck that.
In this case, it's going to actually be you are just actually helping. So go ahead and roll a strength check.
Is it
So you
flat
guys are
strength
just
or
trying to boot-
athletics?
It is just strength this time. You're just trying to boot the door down.
Okay.
All right.
This is mine.
Wait, so I also need to roll one?
Yeah. Or I can roll it for you. If you're busy.
Nah.
I'm a
Or you
bear.
can just have Dutch help.
Yeah, true.
That's probably the better thing.
Significantly stronger.
But I already said I'm helping, so I'm helping.
Fuck it, let's 3-man the door. Why not? Oh shit.
Mostly
Not
that the
bad.
bear is not big.
The bear sucks.
bear
You don't
sucks
even
dick.
want him.
I'm built different. He sucks.
Between you two, you're able to boot the door open, and the bear adds a little.
The bear runs into the door as it's flying open. I did it.
So you hear the snap of whatever wooden, I don't even know what the heck is that called. Freaking heck, the bar, I guess. I don't think there is any better term.
Barricade, almost.
Yeah. The wooden bar that holds the door closed when you don't want it to
thingy.
be easily opened. Snap in half as you guys boot the door down. And yeah, it swings open. With that roll, it's not quite enough to like send it swinging into the walls, but I mean, it breaks and you're now able to open it.
Yeah, and I will move through quickly because I don't want to be near this fucking green light.
Yep. Yeah, it does seem to be, creeping back towards the ceiling as you guys are moving through the door.
Hate that stuff. Ugh. Green light, spooky. Would not recommend. 0 out of 10.
So, give me just
I like the green light.
March.
Just kidding. Haha. Gotcha.
They are one people.
Alright, I'll kill you.
What? It was purely jest, my lord.
You know who wasn't jesting? Jake.
I never jest, bitch.
Oh shit.
I killed your first character, I'll kill your second one too.
Never yield.
Bloodshed.
No. Say it ain't so.
So, I mean, you guys make it through the door. Are you going to attempt to cobble the brace back together? Or just close the door and keep moving?
I was team closed door and keep moving.
Because yes, it does seem like you just broke its freaking barricade.
Generally when you smash something, you just make it look like it's okay from the other side. Yep, everything's normal here.
I might not notice for a little while.
Yeah, that's the hope.
So beyond, the hallway does, well, it's not as well lit as the hallway that you guys were coming up from. It does lead down as well. They do still have torches, though these are those like,
Lord of the provinces.
I guess the redstone torches where they give off light so you can kind of see, but they're not good torches. They don't keep monsters away. Yeah, it's
really dim
those. Of course, instead of red, these torches are glowing green, but at least it's more of an emerald green, not the sickly green.
Thank God.
But yeah, the tunnel leads down. After about like 20 feet away from the door, once you get it closed and everything, and start walking away, you do hear whatever the ritual activation finish. But other than that, you don't hear anything else. And the door doesn't like come busting down because something comes out of it.
that case,
So-
onward still.
Yeah. This hallway is significantly shorter than the big hallway that you guys walked to get to that room, as it only leads off for about a minute of walking before you reach a large, still dark room. But you can kind of vaguely tell it's a big antechamber. It's about 100 feet long and kind of rectangle shaped, 40 feet wide. There's a couple of, it seems like natural stone pillars formed from stalactites that rise up into the 20-foot ceiling.
Is this room still in the sort of very, very dimly lit way,
Yeah.
or is it fully
Similar.
dark? Okay.
Yeah. Same kind of like emerald green torches that are giving off just enough light to kind of vaguely see shapes, but
Yeah.
they give off shadowy illumination, so you
Okay.
can kind of tell what's going on. Guve and Mo and Rawl, of course, can see fine. But
Yeah, but
maybe
light
Dutch? I
paint.
actually don't know if Bren Bears have dark
I've
vision.
got keen smell. What do I sniff?
A
Shit.
lot of bad things.
Oh no.
Lots of
Bad
goblin
things are out of your
smell
guys.
and a hint of soap here and there.
Hmm.
In this room, there are, well, no goblins, strangely. You do see the remnants of a couple of, well, I guess no living goblins, I should correct. As you do see the remnants of a couple of goblins that are just kind of sprawled out on the floor. They're dead. It's not as obvious to Oyeko and Dutch, but Guve and Mo can see it fine.
I do it for
Sacre bleu.
a pale shadow.
On the left side of the room, there are a couple of small tunnels that lead off, like almost right next to each other. They're like 10 feet off from one another. On the right, there is another one of these big, like, gateways. And on the opposite side of the room, there is a single metal door for Mo and Guve to see. Otherwise, you guys can just tell that it's there, but can't tell it's wood or metal versus, normal door. The gate is, again, wood.
Is that a metal door?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What kind? I mean, I probably can't make it out that well, but like, what kind of metal does it look? Does it look like?
It's
Is it hard to tell?
I mean, it's not hard to tell, other than it's some sort of iron.
Hmm.
As for how thick and tough it is, I mean, it's hard to tell.
Yeah. I guess I'll go. I mean, there's no one in this room that we see, right? Aside from the corpses.
Yeah, it's just the corpses.
I guess in that case, I'll try to quietly go along and listen at the metal door.
All right. I mean, I guess make a perception to try and hear anything?
Sure. Any advantage, disadvantage? Probably nothing,
No.
right? Okay.
Just nothing.
There sure is nothing.
Yeah, you don't hear anything on the other side.
Okay, in that case, I'll try the door. See if it's unlocked.
It is unfortunately locked. Or blocked or something. You don't see a keyhole. And
Is it a push door?
in the half light, kind of this close anyway, the door seems to have a carving, I suppose, of the cursed moon inscribed kind of at like human eye level.
Hey, Guve, maybe you can open this door because you're cursed and it has the cursed moon on it. I don't know.
Alright, I'll try and open the door.
Alright. Guve, you grab the handle. Could you please make a charisma save?
Oh!
I'm great at these.
Well, Peyton, I sent you to be fully unfocused on Elden Ring faster, I suppose.
Thank you. Saving throw, you said?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm great at these.
oh no.
Yeah, you are.
Oh no.
So, Guve, yeah, as far as you can can think, you're blacked out. You no longer exist as person. As Guve, for the rest of you, yeah, Guve just kind of lets go of the door handle, and her mark starts to glow. And just kind of turns around, says, "Oh yeah, it's open. Go ahead."
Face my
Mark begins to glow, and the door seems open.
Well, she says it's open, but the door itself is not.
I'll
Guve's
kinda
mark
narrow.
begins to glow, not the door's mark.
I see.
I want to roll insight.
Yeah, same actually.
power.
Just because that seems sus as hell. Nah, it's actually fine.
Not knowing Guve well is not that suspicious. Yeko, on the other hand, is significantly more suspicious.
That doesn't seem right. Are you okay?
Hack them apart.
I'm fine.
Power is my right.
You're fine?
Well, we're inside a goblin fortress and whatnot, so I'd rather be killing goblins rather than wandering around, but good enough.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's just immediately is like, yep, that sounds like...
You'd say you're content? At least?
I guess he'll shrug and open the door.
Alright, Mo, you try and open the door. Unfortunately, it's a heavy iron door, and you just cannot get it open.
Well, didn't go bad, I guess.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything to Mo.
So I prove my right to rule.
You hurt your foot. Nothing else happens.
And that was the only way out of this room, right?
There are 3 other paths out of this room, not including the one you came in.
Oh, I missed all of those somehow.
There's another wooden gate that leads off of the... I'm just going to say you guys were traveling north across this room to the door.
Yeah.
No, probably not. So it'd be to the west from where you guys came in. There's a wooden gate. To the east, there are 2 tunnels that don't have anything in front of them that lead off, like very close to each other. But those are, well, they're not goblin tunnels, but they're smaller. They're only 5 feet tall.
Okay, I'll go check the wooden gate, I suppose. That's my bad. I heard metal door and got excited.
You heard plot convenient door? That's different.
Bro, door? Oh my god! Think of all the things that could be behind it.
This gate does seem to be opened from this side, so you can pull the bar off.
Yeah, I will do that and sort of creak it open and peek down and probably see a dark hallway that I can't see in.
Yep. It's a dark hallway that you can't see.
Looks clear. That's funny.
Yeah. That hallway, by the way, it's not even lit. It is just a dark hallway.
Does it lead up though? Or like?
I mean, you really can't tell. It's black.
Okay, so none of the light from this side sort of can like bleed through the door when I open it.
I mean, it bleeds like 10 feet in, which doesn't.
And it just needs to be straight for the 10 feet. Okay.
At least for the 10 feet, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if you ask any of the dark vision people, they can tell you.
Yeah, I would ask Mo to come take a peek, see.
Alright. That path is significantly longer than 10 feet and leads off seemingly... it's just straight line. At least out to 60 feet.
I will relay that information.
So, what do you think? Should we try to go down this path, or should we try to open that door?
This path looks safe.
Alright, sure. Let's head on. Can you, lead the way? I don't know what's going on with Guve, and I don't think she should lead the way. I'll be right behind you. I just can't see.
It's weird, but that sounds way more suspicious.
Mo was like, I like Guve. We traveled for a while. You were the crazy one. It's actually funny that that's a completely legit
God.
freaking thing for Modus to think.
Oh god. Disaster. Disaster.
Guys are like, freaking Gube's weird. Mo's like, what are you talking about?
Gube is pretty normal. This is par for Gube. Oh, jeez.
We are Keysland!
So, yep, going down that tunnel then.
Yeah, I will, despite that, take the lead.
All right,
Keysland.
Guve will take up the rear in that case.
Hmm. I am trying to keep somewhat of an eye on her, by the way.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, if you
For
demand
Keysland.
to have her be somewhere else in the order. It is a 10-foot wide hallway, so you can march next to her if you wish. Or,
Well, I told Mo I'd be right behind them, so I'll be right behind Mo. I'm just trying to.
just put
Every
peek
once
it
in a while,
backwards.
sort of. Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to light your lantern, or are you just going to
No.
hope that you can kind of see through the darkness?
I'm gonna hope that if something shows up, Mo will let me know.
Okay.
This is a questionable strategy, I'm aware.
So, Mo, you travel on for about another, like past the 60 feet anyway, another 50 feet before you can see
Take their head.
the pathway opens up some. Comes into a bigger room.
For all the motherland.
And
Becomes bigger room.
Okay, anything in it?
My decision is law.
I mean,
Wiring
you've literally,
information.
yeah, you can see the doorway.
The
But
room is loading.
yeah, moving forward, you see that this room has another couple exits out of it when you kind of come closer to the doorway. It's a fairly small room in comparison to the last one. It's only like 30 feet long. Looking across it, you can see that this tunnel seems to continue. You can also see exits out of this room to the left and right, kind of right in the middle of it. The room is rectangular, so 40 feet by like 20 feet. And you also see a bunch of, I guess bunch. You see 8. Kind of two on the left, 2 on the right that are kind of between this entrance and the ones that are leading off to the east and west. And then 2 more that are between those doors and the door on the opposite side. They seem to be these like weird kind of thatch looking no, not thatch. They look like upside down baskets, but like big. These things are like 8 feet across.
Together.
They're just sitting there on the floor, it seems. The room itself does not smell good, by the way. And to Dutch, you also, like, you guys smell kind of just filth. And Dutch, you pick up the smell of blood, as well as other more, I guess, people sense.
Oh. I point to my nose, point around, and then I do like the finger across my neck motion.
Yes, it does smell bad, Dutch. We're happy to have you here.
Yeah, we know it smells like shit.
It actually does.
I mime again, chopping of the head, and then back to my nose.
You want to decapitate yourself to stop smelling?
I point to you and then point to my ears and nod.
I have no idea what you're trying to randomize.
Me?
I don't know, but it sounds like he just asked you to kill him.
You hear me? Is that what you're saying? Or you can't hear me?
I wave my hand at you in a dismissive gesture.
Are you guys, by the way, quietly discussing this, or are you just speaking
I would be
normal?
whispering.
Okay.
Unless I say
Making
otherwise,
sure.
I am whispering.
Mhm.
Just so we clear it up.
Yeah. Just making sure you guys aren't wandering around this area going, "Hi, what's going on?"
I'd like to take a peek at one of the baskets
All right.
and see if I can see through the weaving, or if I have to tip one over.
I mean, there are small holes, but like even with dark vision, it's kind of hard to get a good look through them. You do see a little bit of movement underneath. Which one are you looking at? I guess that's actually important here. There are 8. 4 kind of closer to you, left and right, and 4 on the opposite side of the room. I guess other side.
Closer one.
All right, left or right?
Left.
Okay. One of the left ones. Yeah, so one of the left ones, you do see movement underneath it.
While that's not scary for me, Theo, I imagine that's very scary for someone that's taking a peek in the crack of a basket.
It doesn't seem like it's something like crawling over the basket or anything like that. It's something like in the or under the basket, I guess.
Yeah.
It also seems to be a lot like further away than you were expecting because the baskets are not like terribly tall. They're only like a foot tall, so and it seems to be deeper than that.
Oh, as in like it's covering a pit?
That seems to be the case, yeah.
Well, nonetheless, I will jump back.
Hoya.
Huh? Everything okay?
Sarina Catherine of Kis.
thing pit under basket.
Okay, so let's just leave it there.
You guys do hear a little bit of rustling after Mo kind of leaps back from other baskets.
Mm-hmm. And
I guess no, Dutch has a good one. Yeah, so all of you guys hear it just passively.
there weren't any. I keep forgetting if there are passages in and out of these rooms.
There are 4, including the one that you guys
Jesus
came through.
Christ. Do any of them have anything like notable? Like a gate or something, I mean.
No, these don't have doors. The one to the left has one of those like kind of like teepee curtains over the door.
Okay.
The one to the right just leads to a very short, like it's like a 10-foot hallway before a ladder that leads downward. And then the one forward, of course, is just more darkness.
I vote for the latter one personally.
Okay.
Unhand Corn's Herald.
Die beneath the heel of Kis.
Trying to think if Guve would want to follow the ladder.
For the motherland.
Hey, Payton, would you go right willingly?
What's the context? I'm be honest. Since
The
I got
ladder.
mind blanked, I have not been paying attention.
You have 3
There's a ladder?
pathways. One that leads down a ladder.
Sure.
Yep. You guys
No.
go down the ladder.
No reason not to go down the ladder, I guess. I don't know.
I will be going first, even though it's probably not the best idea.
You can't see. Yeah, no, not the best. So the ladder goes down for if Mo or
Destroy these
Guve wants to help out, so you can actually like see, or at least you can look down so Oyeko doesn't like go down into a snake pit or something.
I'll
The-
follow down the ladder, looking as I go.
Yep. So the ladder leads down about 10 feet, and then comes to a like a room under this one, which is only like this room. The room above is like 6 feet tall, and this one seems to be kind of similarly set up, with of course the exception of a bunch of doors.
Oh God.
Well, a cross hallway with 8 doors.
8 doors. I'm gonna have trouble keeping
Frozen
track.
Kingdom welcomes all its allies.
I mean, conveniently, the doors are all, in the same spot that things are upstairs.
Hmm.
A little
No longer have
suspicious.
trouble keeping track.
And does the hallway lead past the doors, or is it just the doors?
None
No,
shall
it's just that
question me.
cross. So,
Okay, so presumably these lead to the bottom of the basket pits,
mhm.
and probably
Strong
exist to like
assumption.
get shit out of there from people that fell in.
Mhm.
Back up the ladder.
My great rebirth continues.
All right. So yeah, you
Mistress
have
of Ice.
more hallway or hallway covered by the room, I guess. You don't know what's beyond it. But the
No reason not to check behind the curtain, right?
Yeah. So beyond the
Maybe
curtain,
maybe Cook's just in a chair right behind it.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
How'd you
I mean,
know
there
I was
actually
there?
is a chair behind it. No.
Oh my
person
God,
in
I
it.
was half right.
He was just here. We missed him.
A chair along with a table and a couple of
Rule.
buckets, a few buckets,
Oh,
couple
shit.
which are filled with
Prepare
health.
your master's chambers.
But that's
Seems like
it. It's
someone's
just like a
been,
small
yeah,
room.
a small room. Yeah,
That's how
it's
you
got a
Okay.
bunch of little marks on the wall.
Familiar at all, or just like
claim it.
goblin
The
panting?
king's name.
More like tally marks.
Okay.
There are a lot of them. Like an entire little section of this room is just devoted to tally marks.
That's kind
Like
of weird.
months of work, months of tallies, if it's based on the day anyway.
I see. Probably should go check out the other hallway then.
I stand for Kislev.
The other hallway stretches off into the darkness beyond dark vision as before. And you guys walk for 20 minutes without seeing anything down it. It just keeps
That's
going.
promising.
How far are you guys going to go? Like, I'm guessing 20 minutes, but like, you've had to walk that far already. But how much further are you willing to go? Because this hallway just kind of seems to be leaning down a little bit and
Lord of the
just stretches out.
Uh,
It's hard to tell if it's turning or anything because it's just a blank, boring 10-foot hallway.
I mean, I guess I'll ask Guve, because she has the sort of radar thing that can detect Cook, right?
Yeah, but it's currently being overwhelmed by goblin apocalypse.
Okay, so she isn't able to sort of make him out in the goblin apocalypse.
Yeah, no.
I thought she just had it off. So, my bad.
I mean, she can probably turn it on, but there's a chance Guve will hurt herself trying.
Oh yeah, because nice enough that she probably wouldn't ask her to do that.
Because the way I have that is, if you sense freaking thousands of your favorite enemy, all of a sudden your sensor goes, I don't know what I'm trying to sense here, boss, but it hurts.
Yeah. Well, we could try another, like, 5-10 minutes and then turn around.
At your service.
Yep.
Go with 10. 10 more minutes, make it a nice half hour.
All right. Yeah. Another 10 minutes passes, and at a half an hour, you still don't seem to find anything. So I'll just keep stretching.
Hey, do we want to keep going or turn around?
Extend my authority.
Turn around.
I mean, there must be an ending
Goodbye,
somewhere,
chaos.
but, like... This wasn't even guarded.
I will make it so.
Let's turn around.
Turn around.
Unleash Kislev's wrath.
Seems like turn around is the game plan.
Every now and then.
Dutch won't be a bear anymore because we spent like an hour walking.
Yeah.
They are one people.
By the time you
Sag.
make it back, there is no more Bear Dutch.
And when I see that, I'll go,
Feel
okay,
the
Dutch,
chill winds.
what the hell were you talking about when you're pointing at your nose and decapitating yourself, then pointing at me in your ears?
Smells like Death, literally. It smells like blood.
Snow is Kislev's ally.
Okay.
I don't know.
Why were you pointing at me and then your ears?
You said something. Uh,
End of end of sentence.
and I thought it would be funny, but
Okay, so it was a joke. All right.
yeah, that one was.
I was
Yeah.
I was really confused as all.
So, yep. As you guys are returning to the what you'd assume to be a prison based on how it's set up, you hear, well, someone walking around up there and complaining. Actually, they're actually complaining in common. It's kind of weird, like super dialect goblin common, but I mean, it is common. They say, "Why do I have to be taking care of all the prisoners? There's so many better things I could be doing tonight. It's almost time, and I'm sitting here taking care of these lazy slobs."
Almost time.
Could
And
be
just kind
most
of
the prisoners.
continues along those lines.
Let's, guys, do we want to like beat this guy up and ask him what time it is?
Hmm? Sorry, why are you doing?
He said it's almost time.
Oh, probably. Well, we could shake him down, but I would guess it's some kind of ritual thing. Actually, yeah, we should.
Yeah, let's try to figure it out. I'll try to sneak up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Getting like up to the actual room, because you hear him long before you actually make it to sight.
Yeah.
The well, while it of course sounds like a goblin, it appears to be a human, you guess? They at least look human enough. They're kind of shorter, but still like not quite goblin short.
Mhm.
They do still have the pointed, kind of semi-pointed ears, but they do kind of look like a human. Kind of like a weird cross between a goblin and a human.
Are they like pacing the room at all?
Yeah, they're pacing between the ladder down and the little like side room, just kind of back and forth, complaining.
Do they go down the ladder ever?
At least not while you've been watching.
Okay.
They have a small set of keys along with their like kind of a big long wooden stick. Not quite a quarterstaff, but like club more like.
I'll wait for them to get like. What's the closest they ever get to us during their sort of like pacing path almost?
I guess when they cross the middle of the room would be the closest point.
And how far is that roughly?
I mean it's only like the room is only 40 feet long, so it's about 20 feet. You're hiding
Okay.
in the doorway.
When he's at the closest point, I will just try to charge at him and like tackle and cover mouth is the game plan.
Okay. I mean, do you want to try and like sneak up to him, or are you just freaking jumping him and hoping he
Jumping.
doesn't scream before you reach him?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess go ahead and do count as a grapple, I suppose. So athletics.
Fuck. Any advantage, disadvantage?
I mean, while you are hidden when you start, you are charging across the
Yeah,
room at
I
him.
figured as
So,
much. I just wanted to
yeah,
ask.
so
The motherland fights as one.
it doesn't matter.
They are not
So yeah, you charge across the room. He turns his head, and that's about when you freaking tackle him.
Great.
So yeah, I'm not even gonna bother having you roll another freaking athletics. This guy gets freaking grabbed.
And I will kind of drag him back to the hallway we were in.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you do.
And a little ways down.
Yeah. He doesn't even seem to be all that like he's not really kicking and screaming. He's not trying to like bite or shout through your hand. He's just kind of like limp at this point.
Once we get a little ways down, I will sort of uncover his mouth and be like, "It's almost time for what?"
He just kind of looks at you.
Rebellion against me is
You're not going to kill me?
Not if you're cooperative, of course not.
You actually see like just a little tiny grain of hope just spring into his eyes. Well, the awakening, I guess?
my rule.
I don't really know what they call it,
Mistress
but
of
the
ice.
coming of the moon, I guess, is what they call it.
Okay, do you know where it's being held?
I mean, I know where the festivities are being held.
None
But
shall
presumably there's a
question me.
ritual. Do you know where that is?
Lord
No.
of the provinces.
Why would I know where the ritual is? I guard these stupid prisoners. Not like I'm important.
What are the prisoners anyway?
Your Tsarina looks after you.
I
They
don't
are
really
one
know.
people.
All I'm told is to throw water in there once in a while and throw other bits and bobs at them and collect the buckets.
I see, okay. So where are the festivities being held?
Back in the city areas?
Okay. I think we saw some of
Mistress
those,
of
like
ice.
banquet halls and the like.
Yeah,
It suits my purposes.
that's
Well-
where all the real goblins get to frickin' party. At least the ones that are not, busy.
Okay, what's down this hallway we're in right now?
Disposal, I think?
Okay, so it doesn't really do it doesn't go anywhere relevant.
Command ice and
I mean,
snow.
unless you want to leave.
Okay. What's behind that metal door in the other room?
That's where well, what would he call them?
Bad goblins are kept.
I mean, in some ways, that's the case. I'm trying to think of the term he'd use. I guess the shaman, it makes most sense. That's where the shaman stays.
The
Well,
shaman?
shamans, I guess.
This land is
Yeah,
mine.
the leader guys.
Okay. Do you know how to open that
A
door?
demon hide
As
brag
far as
for
I know,
me.
you just open it.
Highborn
Okay.
son.
I will describe Cook and ask, have you seen someone that looks like that?
He kind of like looks at you. A normal human here? No. They'd be killed.
I'll describe some of the weird looking watchers and ask, have you seen anything that looks like that?
A gift from Holy Mother.
Not quite
My
those.
rule, my
They have stuff
See-
like those, though.
Where?
He just kind of describes the bulbous-headed goblins.
Hmm.
They're called, I think, observers. Yeah, that's the word they use.
And those are the ones that went down the other path in the ritual room, right?
Yeah, some of them anyway.
Okay. Do you know anything else about the layout of this place?
I stand
I
for this
know
land.
how to get to the feast halls and where I stay, but I'm not here.
Okay. How often do people come into this prisoner area?
Like the shamans and other goblins or prisoners?
People outside of you.
He like thinks about it for a minute. I mean, if I could look at my tallies, I'd be able to tell you, but it's been a while.
Okay, because you
Never
have to
yield.
understand I'm going to have to like tie you up somewhere. So you
He
don't
just kind of looks panicked for a moment. Please don't leave me in that room. Here.
Yeah, no, I don't, that's the thing, I don't want to leave you to die, so I want to make sure I'm leaving you in a place where people will find you before you die.
He again looks a little bit relieved.
With
Then, of
this,
course, a
I
little
guard
confused.
Kislev.
But
Why are you confused? I don't want to just kill people I don't have to.
it's not what they told us.
What are
Maybe you're
you?
weird. Hmm? I'm a follower of the moon.
This is the like weird like human looking.
Yeah, the like half human, half goblin looking thing.
Yes. are you?
I don't know what you mean.
You are not
Never doubt
human.
a boya.
No. Not anymore, anyway.
Ah, get cursed or something?
Or
First. I guess some would call it that. But, yes. I am joining this race. Sometime.
I see.
So some races are better than others, you say?
No. I mean, goblins are being blessed. Evolving, becoming the, I guess, masters of the world again. I don't want to be
Oh.
on the receiving end.
That's cool. So if I knock you out and leave you in the room with the tally marks, you'll be alright, right? I'm not gonna tie you up or anything if I knock you out.
Yes. As long as I wake up and, like, before I get hungry.
I'm sure you'll wake up before you die of hunger.
who are these prisoners?
Guess a little bit of people like me that are
My
working,
pulse
and
are
a
at your
few people
service.
like you who aren't supposed to be here.
Right.
Goblin
Anyone else?
prisoners don't really exist, so
Anyone
They-
else have any
they just couldn't
questions
die.
for him?
Bow before me.
Hmm?
My decision is law.
Did he say
Oh,
that
man, we're all
people
kinda
like
wanna shoot.
him that weren't working?
that aren't working. Yeah. By the way, it's hard to tell what kind of working he actually means there.
Yeah.
If it's the transformation didn't go so well, guys, so you get to be in the pit forever now, or if it's because this is their home. Though I think you guys can probably put the pieces together that it's probably more of the former and not the latter.
Gotcha.
Anyone else have any questions?
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Alright. And I
We're
will
all
just
in
knock him out.
kind of, in Dogman will just kind of voice that she would prefer just putting this thing out of its misery.
I'll sort of respond in kind of Yuan. He's been very cooperative, and I gave him my word if he was, I wouldn't kill him. I'm not going to go back on that. Sorry.
She just kind of, growls vaguely to herself, but otherwise doesn't complain.
And I will just knock him out
And then kill him.
and then put him in the tally
And
room.
then Ra's like, I didn't give my word and kills.
I wouldn't be surprised if she did that.
No. As far as you can tell, she doesn't do it, so. It is
As far
dark.
as I can tell.
Really, really, really sleight of hand.
Lord
Oh,
of
do we
all.
want to go back? Well, we want to go back to where those goblins went in the ritual room, but do we want to,
The Tsarina. March with pride and
Uh,
verve.
I don't know, bring some
Roll out.
prisoners or something?
Foolhardy.
I'm partial to
Yeah.
not doing that. That seems like it's just...
Embrace this welcome call, Kizzy.
Perhaps not, but let them out.
They're just like unlock all the doors and just leg it, or what?
Well, it would help us by creating a distraction. They probably got all kinds of people just trapped in there. Well, we should at least check, right?
Sure.
I'm not overly confident in a prisoner's ability to fight. But no need to leave them locked in here. guess we'll
Yeah.
go down and start unlocking doors.
I mean, yeah, you can do that if you wish.
Snow is Kislev's ally.
You have a
Wish.
key ring. All right. Yeah, the doors in this case is really more of like a, wooden
So
door with
just
like a
a
padlock on
giant...
it.
Oh, okay, padlock. I
Yeah.
was wondering if it was just a giant deadbolt on the outside or something.
No, they actually do have a key ring. I mean, at least Mo has trouble trying to see through the door, unless Mo wants to open all of the doors, like, more than just unlock them.
I was planning on just unlocking them, not...
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'm gonna be right back.
It sounded like there was at least a portion of these prisoners that were sympathetic to the goblins, not... Then again, not working might mean is rampantly violent and will just kill the other prisoners when let out. So I don't know if we want to like.
I mean, you
Check
can
on-
actually look, because they have those basket things over them.
You know what? I'll do that. Very well.
And it does seem like you can move those. Like, they're not just bolted or anything to the floor, so you can just push them out of the way so you can actually see.
I will take a look.
And all right, so kind of wandering around, just like pushing the basket so you can see down more easily. You see three of them, of all of the 8 cells, all of them are indeed full. 3 of them seem to be kind of like the weird half-goblin person, though they either seem to be significantly further along, or are very mangled.
Mhm.
Like, one guy has like one goblin arm and one human arm, and one goblin leg and one human leg on the opposite side from like each other. So like his left hand and right leg. Yeah, so not very functional.
Mhm.
The others at least seem to be more goblinized than
We are in
like human at this point. But you can still see like aspects of them. Like one has
Hmm.
just human ears on a goblin head, which doesn't quite look right. The other 5, however, one of which is just a corpse, person that has since expired. Not quite a skeleton yet, but they're definitely not alive anymore and haven't been for at least some time. The other 4 seem to be alive and very confused. You have one of the dwarves from up north here, a couple of dogmen, and a halfling.
I will let them out.
They both seem to be the little, barklings, not the big dogs.
Gotcha. Or I'm letting all of the non-goblin transforming people out.
Yeah.
nearly a nice.
So yeah, they notice the door is unlocked and kind of follow you back up the ladder after a bit, anyway. If you stay in the room for a couple minutes. If you guys just unlock the doors and then bail, then they hopefully left.
Well, those ones at least I'd like say like, hey,
It cements my power.
Yep.
I'm releasing you.
Mistress of
Yeah,
ice.
you release those 4 prisoners,
It cements my
and
power.
they follow you out
This
after a
is
bit.
my
Because they are apparently very hungry and tired.
They are one people.
So, not really fighting fit.
Yeah.
Go with pride.
I mean,
And it seems like the halfling is even more just out of it. Like, she follows you up, but, like, she's not seemingly all there. Seems to be,
fuck
like,
it. What are the
super
chances I
depressed.
need food? I'll just give them my supplies.
Okay. Yeah, the 2 barklings and the dwarf accept the supplies.
We are in our element.
And if you guys tell them that the disposal area is down that passage, then they can start heading in that direction.
What I am wondering, oh party of mine,
Mhm.
In this case, is
is if
Dutch.
we should send. Wait, say again?
Only Dutch because Jake isn't here and Peyton's not paying attention.
Ah, okay. Is if
Yo.
we should send these people out of here with Rahl,
Mm.
who can guide them.
Well, I can tell you that Rawl is not up for that plan, but I mean, if you tell her to do it, then she probably will.
Also, in my defense, I am here and partially paying attention. Just from what I know, I've been fucking brain blasted, and I'm not really me anymore. So
Yeah, you have your own problems,
I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay.
but there are still some Gouvet bits in there that are doing Gouvet bits.
You-
What'd I miss?
I have unleashed the prisoners. That
Mhm.
All the non-goblin thing prisoners.
Yeah, non-goblin prisoners.
Governor of Kislev's land.
And
You have a
keys.
dwarf, 2 barklings, and
Let us
a
forth.
depressed halfling.
Do they look like fighters at all?
No.
No.
There is no greater ice witch.
I
Okay.
I mean, the
was-
dwarf and the halfling might have been at one point, but they
So,
are
question.
like
We may
super worn
proceed.
down.
Mhm.
They have been on the forcible fasting diet
I see.
for a while now.
The dude said the disposal chute was a way out, right?
Expunge the
Yeah.
chaos stain.
I will
And-
relay that to them, like, hey, so the person here taking
One
care of the
life.
prisoners said that
Born to
that
rule.
chute down there is a way out. I don't know that for sure. I'll give you some food if you want to go that way.
Advance for Kislev.
Yeah, Mo has already given them her supplies, so
Frostfang's
they
bite.
are somewhat settled. The thing up for debate is whether or not to send Rawl to guide them,
The
Mm.
shield of the old world.
as Rawl currently is against it because of,
They
well,
are no threat.
I hope obvious reasons, but
Lord of the provinces.
The
I mean,
mother
I could just
went
give him,
gross.
like... I guess it would just be a single longbow and some arrows, but... Not like I use the damn thing.
I think is
No.
Gouvet borrowing that?
no, I have my own longbow.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
pretty sure
trying to
she has
remember
her
if you
own.
bought your own. Yes.
I borrowed it and then I bought my own.
Yeah.
Bow to me.
It's like, yeah, that's actually pretty useful.
I have a
Yep.
sling that I'm not
Courage
using.
flows in our veins.
They can have that.
My only problem is I feel like we're gonna need everyone, so like, I'd like to send Rawl with them, but
No other may wield
things are
it.
kinda dangerous here.
I mean, you can
will
send
then
Kurskine or
defer
Frog and see
to
if one of them
Rahl.
wants to. I mean, Rawl is against it because she wants to protect you. So,
Mhm.
unless you basically straight order her to do it,
My rule is
then
absolute.
she's against it. So,
Rahl shall stay.
Right. I will hand over
A tool to keep
a longbow
chaos
and
at bay.
my arrows to anyone that seems like they know how to use it.
I mean, I guess the dwarf takes it, but
I know,
will
I'd
give a
rather...
sling to the well, I guess the halfling's out of it, isn't?
yeah, the halfling is probably not going to get involved in any fighting.
I will hand
This-
a sling to the barklings.
Yeah, one of them can take it. They understand sling.
I'll give them my healer's kit too.
They take the
Please.
healer's kit.
Just try not to get into any fights. I'd really like to help you guys out of here, but we have a pretty important thing to be done here, unfortunately.
Yep. The 2 barklings yip their thanks. And of course, continue and then start to trot off. The dwarf, in a surprising show, at least for what you guys have seen of these dwarves, just picks up the halfling, hefts her over his shoulder, and then just starts to trundle off after him.
Well, let's go back to where those goblins headed, I guess. I hope those guys make it out alright.
I mean, there are still 2 other tunnels in the other room if you want to follow either of those.
Oyeko is pretty sure that there's probably not any way from here that leads to the where we need to be. So she's more inclined to go back to where those goblins were heading.
Go back to the ritual room.
I mean, they're called observers. I mean, we're what, witnesses? Was it? I don't remember the correct terminology.
That's what
So-
at least some people have called you.
Observer, witness.
Watcher.
There's the connection she's drawn there.
Yeah, the whole eye thing.
Yeah, generally speaking.
Tends to be related to the whatever.
If it
you're trying to
involves
do.
seeing, there's a connection. I've connected the dots.
Yep. So you guys make it back to the door, and it is still closed and broken, so nothing has changed here.
There's no like ritual light bleeding through, right?
Nope, not that you can see. It seems like the room on the other side is back to just, its dull glow from at least the light under the door.
We stand against.
AKA
I'll
there is no light, it's darkness.
I'll creak it open, make sure that it is still dark and light.
You can still see the ritual circle is that kind of dull glow. There's still the 2 bodies there, though they seem to have been moved since you were last in here. And there doesn't seem to be anyone else.
I guess in that case I'll head in and go to the other hallway where the goblins headed.
The 2 bodies have, by the way, I guess I should be specific, they have been moved to be inside the ritual circle.
Shady, but there's no time to investigate.
That's right.
So you step in. I'm guessing, yeah, everyone else is following afterward. And after Guve steps in, the ritual light grows in intensity. But strangely, not the same sort of, like, the whole dome kind of lights up. It's only the circle this time. And
I
the
will
2
give it-
bodies just kind of, like, shamble to their feet. The blood just kind of, like, coalescing out of their corpses, and the corpses themselves kind of seeming to disassociate from, like, being bodies into just kind of messes of flesh before they both form into a single figure in the middle of the circle that you guys recognize as that person that ducked out of the room when you initially made it to the feasting hall. That kind of vaguely humanish elf-looking thing with their head covered by the hood.
I see.
And now that you have a good look at them, and you can, stare into their hood, as the glow is still, like, bright enough that it's lighting up the room, you see a familiar shape of the single black eye with the white pupil.
Ah, one of you fellows.
And whatever it is intones in your head, in all of your heads, technically.
Like the motherland.
Welcome, witnesses. Time for ascension has arrived, it seems. And that is where we're going to end tonight.
Ah, so we can get murdered by it next session. Pog. Historically... Oh, wait, no! Mitchell.
What?
There's no cliffs in this room, are there?
No.
Fuck! What, my one strategy? Even against the second watcher, I was like jumping off of staircases. Every time I encounter a Watcher, I'm just leaping off of vertical heights.
Alright,
Yeah.
alright, alright. Wait, wait,
And
wait,
this
wait,
time-
wait. Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out.
Mhm. I'm listening.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Okay. Oh shit! I can go to the ceiling and then elbow drop her from there. Let's go.
Pack them up
Or
now.
Theo, we could kite it back to the room with the baskets, because like there were pits there. I could jump into there. We have options here.
It's gonna be a very long kite. Especially if this thing has anything like the freaking first one. Where it could basically teleport.
Right.
It moves so fast that it just freaking disappears one place and appears another. But yeah, that is where we're going to end.
How will
And we
you
level up. Yeah, woo!
You guys are at max level for this, as far as it's
Oh
concerned.
no.
I stand for Kislev.
This is the end. You're not gonna level up at the end, right before the final fight.
All right. Session end, yes.
Hey, Peyton.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Farewell, Peyton. Enjoy Elden Ring, bud.
that's the plan.
They will fall.
I wasn't paying attention for a lot of the session, and then I got brain blasted, so I didn't have to pay attention for a lot of the session. So honestly, kind of a dub.
Works out.
Yeah, worked out great.
Yep.
All right.
Don't- You should probably come and pay attention next time.
Nah, I'm brain blasted. It won't be a problem. I'm basically out of the campaign at this point, as far as I'm concerned.
Has no idea what's going on.
You're
Besides they're
goddamn
like-
right, I don't. I was brain blasted. That's all I needed to know.
Well, I guess that'll make the final fight much easier for the enemy.
Let me know if I get unbrain blasted, then I'll show up.
You should probably show up because there'll be an opportunity.
Fine. I'll show up. I won't get unbrain blasted. I'll just be sitting there for like 3 hours. Twiddling my thumbs will be hilarious.
If that happens, just start up Elden Ring. Then you can be